Imagine this, my dears, a garden that doesn't demand your aching knees or your precious time. A garden that doesn't require you to start from scratch every single spring, pulling out last year's wilted remains and pouring your sweat into tilling the unforgiving earth. Instead, picture a garden that is your lifelong companion, a wise friend who returns year after year with more bounty, more color, and more joy than the last. A garden that gives back to you without the backbreaking work. For so long, we've been told gardening has to be this constant, exhausting cycle. The endless battle against weeds and pests, the worry about the next frost, and the disappointment when a crop fails. It feels like a beautiful chore, doesn't it? But what if I told you that's simply not true? What if there were a secret, a gentle, wonderful way to garden that allows you to spend less time toiling and more time simply enjoying? What if your garden could become a true place of peace, a source of comfort, and a provider for your family, without you having to sacrifice your own peace and comfort? I know how hard we've all worked. My friends, we've spent a lifetime nurturing, caring, and tending to others. And now, in this beautiful season of our lives, our garden should be a sanctuary, a place of pure delight. That's why I've found a way for us to garden smarter, not harder. Today, I'm going to reveal my personal secrets, 12 incredible perennial crops that will become your lifelong garden companions. These aren't just plants. They are investments in your future and a testament to the power of a single well-placed effort. And trust me, the one at number 1 is so astonishingly simple, it will change the way you think about gardening forever. You absolutely won't want to miss it. Before we dive into this wonderful list, if you love the idea of turning your backyard into a food-producing paradise that saves you time and energy, please take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. Let's make our gardens a place of joy together. Let's jump straight into our list, starting with number 12, a little berry of pure happiness. 12. Strawberries. Oh, my darlings. Is there anything more wonderful than a strawberry fresh from your own garden? The taste of sunshine and sweetness, all in one bite. You might think of strawberries as a yearly chore, something you have to plant over and over. But that's where the magic of perennials comes in. Once you plant your strawberries, they don't just sit there. They're little explorers, sending out runners that create new, beautiful plants. What you plant today can become a whole patch of joy for years to come, without you lifting a finger to replant them. It's a sweet, delicious secret that keeps on giving. When you plant them, just tuck their little crowns into the soil. Give them a nice, sunny spot where they can get at least 6 hours of sunshine a day. And as they get comfortable, you'll see them start to spread their runners like little arms reaching out for a hug. It's the most charming thing to watch. All you have to do is mulch them to keep the weeds down and keep them watered, especially when those precious berries are forming. It's so little work for such a big reward. And when it's harvest time, well, there's nothing like the simple joy of kneeling down in your own garden and picking a handful of sun-warmed berries. Use them for jams, for pies, or just for a sweet snack that feels like pure luxury. So, let me ask you, my dear, would you plant a patch of strawberries for a steady stream of sweet snacks or to make beautiful, delicious jam for your grandkids? Drop your answer in the comments below. I'd love to know what you do with your harvest. 11. Mint. Next up on our list, at number 11, is a true powerhouse of a perennial. It's the one herb that seems to have a mind of its own, and that's exactly what we love about it. Mint is not only one of the easiest and most aromatic herbs you can grow, but it's also one of the most persistent. Once you plant it, it will return year after year, offering a cool, refreshing flavor for teas, salads, and drinks. It's a must-have for any low-maintenance garden. Now, here's a word of warning, my dears, but it's a good kind of warning. Mint is an enthusiastic grower, and if you plant it directly in your garden bed, it might just decide it wants to take over the whole neighborhood. That's why I always tell my friends to plant mint in a pot or a container. This keeps its happy little roots from spreading too far, but still gives you an endless supply of fresh leaves right outside your kitchen door. It absolutely thrives in a pot, so you can keep it right on your patio or windowsill. All it asks for is a bit of sun and a little bit of water. Honestly, this plant practically takes care of itself. And when you need a little burst of freshness, just snip off a few leaves. The more you snip, the more it grows back, a truly generous gift from nature. So, I have to ask you, my friend, would you tuck this into a pot on your porch for easy access, or are you the adventurous type who would let it run free in a dedicated corner of your herb garden? Let me know. 10 Sage. Coming in at number 10, we have a classic kitchen herb that's as tough as it is beautiful. Sage. This isn't just a plant for your Thanksgiving turkey, my dears. This is a silvery-leafed wonder that will become a gorgeous, drought-tolerant bush in your garden, coming back stronger every year. It's the kind of plant that just asks to be admired, but secretly, it's one of the hardest workers in your garden. Sage loves the sun and doesn't mind poor soil, which makes it perfect for those of us who want a beautiful garden without all the fuss. Once it's in the ground, it will grow into a lovely, woody little shrub. You don't have to replant it. You don't have to worry about it. It just is. You can harvest the leaves throughout the season, and you'll find they have a rich, earthy flavor that adds so much to soups, stews, and roasts. The bees and butterflies will adore the purple flowers it sends up in the spring, and you'll adore the simple joy it brings to your garden. So, my love, do you have a favorite family recipe that uses sage? Share it with us in the comments. We can all share our little secrets and traditions. 9 Lavender. Oh, what a sight and a scent at number 9. Lavender. Many of us think of this as an ornamental flower, but it is so much more. This is a perennial that not only fills your garden with a calming, beautiful fragrance, but also provides you with a useful harvest for years. Its delicate purple spikes attract bees and other wonderful pollinators to your garden. This is so important, my dears. The pollinators are our little helpers, and by inviting them, we're helping our entire garden thrive. Lavender loves the sun, and it thrives in dry, well-drained soil. It's a perfect plant for a spot where other things might struggle. Once it's in the ground, it becomes a beautiful, fragrant bush that just gets better with age. To care for it, you just give it gentle trim after it flowers to encourage it to stay tidy and full. And the best part? When you snip off the blooms, you've got a harvest right in your hands. You can use it to make calming sachets for your pillows, or even a soothing cup of tea before bed. It's a little bit of peace that you can grow yourself. So tell me, would you grow lavender mainly for its enchanting beauty or for its peaceful, calming properties? If you're finding this video helpful and are starting to dream of your own low-effort garden, please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It truly helps our little community grow. 8 Raspberries. The joy of a perfect raspberry. Plump, jewel-toned, and bursting with a sweet tart flavor. They are the definition of a delicious reward, and they are so much easier to grow than you might think. Many people shy away from berries, thinking they're too much trouble, but raspberries are one of the most generous bushes you can plant. A single cane can turn into a whole row of summer sweetness for years to come. When you plant your dormant raspberry canes, give them a nice sunny spot and a sturdy trellis to climb. They love a little support. Just like we all do, they'll send up new shoots from their roots, and these shoots are what will give you the next year's harvest. It's a wonderful, natural process of multiplication. They just get bigger and more generous with each passing season. The main thing they need from you is a little snip of the old canes after they've given you their fruit. It's a simple act of pruning, a gentle tidying up that ensures the plant has all the energy it needs to produce new, beautiful canes for the next year. It's like a fresh start every season, without the work of replanting. So tell me, would you grow these precious berries for fresh snacking right off the cane, or would you dream of making a beautiful pie for your family? I'm sure you have a favorite recipe that needs them. 7 Daylilies. Now, this one might surprise you, my darlings. At number 7, we have a plant that you might think of as only a flower, the daylily. Wait, what? You might be thinking. A flower on a list of food? Yes. You see, the beautiful, trumpet-shaped blooms of the daylily are actually completely edible. Isn't that a wonderful secret? It's a plant that not only brightens your garden with its gorgeous colors, but also adds a surprise, delightful crunch to your meals. These plants are so tough, they're almost indestructible. They can thrive in almost any soil and in a variety of conditions. They laugh at drought, and they aren't bothered by pests. They are a true survivor, the kind of plant that just keeps coming back, even if you forget about it for a while. You can plant them in a border or scattered throughout your garden for bursts of color. They truly require little to no care. And when their beautiful blooms appear, you can pluck them off and add them to a salad, or even stuff them with a bit of cheese for a delightful appetizer. It's the ultimate dual-purpose plant. So, I'm curious, have you ever considered eating your flowers? What do you think of this amazing discovery? I know it was a big surprise for me when I first found out. 6. Jerusalem artichokes, sunchokes. Next on our list is a truly resilient and underrated crop. At number 6, we have Jerusalem artichokes, also known as sunchokes. These are tubers like potatoes, but they're a true perennial wonder. These plants are so incredibly tough and so productive that they're almost too easy to grow. They can thrive in poor soil, tolerate drought, and still give you abundant harvest year after year without fail. In fact, they are related to sunflowers, which means they grow tall and add beauty to your space, while also producing food underground. To plant them, you simply place the tubers directly into the soil. Give them plenty of room, because these plants can reach up to 10 feet tall. It's like having a beautiful privacy screen that also gives you food. And as for care, honestly, these plants practically take care of themselves. The biggest challenge might just be keeping them under control, because once they're established, they will spread with vigor. Some gardeners even call them the perennial that keeps on giving, sometimes a little too much. When it's time to harvest in the late fall, you dig up the tubers. You can roast them like potatoes or slice them raw into salads for a crisp, nutty crunch. And here's the best part. Any tubers you leave in the soil will simply regrow the next year, giving you a built-in food supply without you having to replant a single thing. So let me ask you, my dear, would you grow Jerusalem artichokes, even if it meant they might try to take over a corner of your garden? It's a powerful plan for those of us who want a reliable food source. If you are loving this journey into a simpler, more joyful way of gardening, and you're excited to see what else we can plant just once, please be sure you're subscribed and have your notifications on so you don't miss any of our secrets. 5. Rhubarb. Coming in at number 5 is a true classic, a plant that feels like a big, gentle hug from the garden every spring. Rhubarb. It's one of the earliest crops to pop up, which means fresh food while the rest of your garden is still waking up. It's a sign of life, a promise of the harvest to come. Once you get established, this plant can live for over a decade, producing those iconic, thick red stalks every spring with very little maintenance after the first year. Rhubarb loves a good, sunny spot with rich, well-drained soil. When you plant it, give the crown plenty of space, about 3 feet apart, because this plant really spreads out as it matures. It's a long-term investment that will reward you for years to come. The care is incredibly simple. Just give it a little water during dry spells and cover the crown with mulch in the fall to protect it through the winter. Now, a very important note, my darlings, only the stalks are edible. The leaves contain oxalic acid and should never be eaten. But those beautiful red stalks, they are perfect for pies, jams, and sauces. The more you harvest throughout the season, the more the plant will produce. So tell me, would rhubarb earn a spot in your garden? I'd love to see how many of you are excited to try this perennial powerhouse. 4. Asparagus. Oh, if there's one perennial every serious gardener should grow, it's this one. At number 4, we have a true garden classic and a real long-term investment, asparagus. I know what you're thinking. It takes so much patience. And you're right, it does. But let me tell you, that patience is one of the most rewarding things you can give to your garden. Once established, asparagus crowns can keep producing for 15 to 20 years. Can you imagine? 2 decades of tender, delicious spears, all from a single planting. That's a legacy you can leave in your own backyard. It's best to start with 1-year-old crowns instead of seeds, because the crowns will establish themselves faster. You'll want to dig a trench about 12 inches wide and 6 to 8 inches deep. Then you just place the crowns inside and cover with a few inches of soil. As the plants grow, you keep filling in the trench until it's level with the ground. Give them a good 18 inches of space apart, because these plants will spread out over time. Now, here comes the part that requires a little bit of faith. My dears, the first year, you must resist the temptation to harvest. It feels so wrong to let those beautiful little spears just grow. But trust me, it's a necessary act of kindness to your plants. This is a time when the crowns are building their strength, getting ready to give you a lifetime of harvests. But by the second or third year, you'll be rewarded with a full, wonderful harvest each spring. When it's time to harvest, just snap off the spears when they're about 6 to 8 inches tall. Asparagus is one of the earliest crops to appear in spring, making a welcome fresh vegetable when little else is ready. So, here's my question for you, my sweet friend. Would you dedicate a permanent bed in your garden to asparagus, knowing it'll feed you for the next 20 years? Comment below. I want to know how many of you are ready to make that beautiful long-term investment. 3. Globe artichoke. At number 3, we've got a plant that is as stunning as it is delicious, the globe artichoke. If you want your garden to be a showpiece, a place where friends and neighbors stop and admire, this is the plant to grow. It has tall stalks, silvery leaves, and big, sculptural flower buds that are completely edible. Once you plant it, an artichoke can keep producing for 5 years or more, rewarding you with high yields and gorgeous plants that double as ornamentals. Globe artichokes love full sun and rich, well-drained soil. They grow large and need room to spread, so plant them about 3 feet apart. In cooler climates, you can start them indoors and transplant them after the last frost. In warmer areas, they'll thrive directly in the garden. The most important thing for them is consistent water, especially during dry periods, and a little compost each year to keep the soil fertile. They'll send up multiple flower buds in their second year and beyond. With proper care, you can harvest dozens of artichokes from a single plant each season. When it's time to harvest, cut the buds while they're still tight and compact. That's when they're the most tender and flavorful. If you let them flower, you'll get massive purple blooms that attract pollinators. So let me ask you, my dear, would you grow artichokes mainly for their tasty buds, or would you leave some to bloom and decorate your garden with those incredible flowers? I'm curious how you'd use this dual-purpose plant. 2. Blueberries. Oh, we're getting so close to the number 1 secret. But first, let's talk about a perennial fruit bush that gives you sweet, nutritious harvest year after year. Blueberries. Blueberries aren't just delicious. They're incredibly healthy, packed with antioxidants, vitamins, and fiber. Once established, a single bush can produce for decades. And with the right care, you'll be picking bowl after bowl of berries every summer. Now, blueberries have one special need that you must pay attention to, and this is where the magic begins. They thrive in acidic soil with a pH between 4.5 and 5.5. You may need to amend your soil with peat moss or pine needles to get it just right. They love full sun and should be spaced about 4 to 5 feet apart. Here's a little secret for an even bigger, sweeter harvest. Plant at least 2 different varieties for cross-pollination. This ensures you get bigger harvests and sweeter berries. When it comes to care, blueberries need consistent watering, especially when they're making fruit. You can mulch heavily with pine bark or with chips to conserve moisture and keep weeds down. Prune them in late winter to remove old wood and encourage new growth. This helps keep the bushes productive for many years. Harvest time is one of the best parts of growing blueberries. Once the berries turn deep blue and come off easily in your hand, they're ready to eat. Use them fresh, freeze them for smoothies, or turn them into jams and pies. As the bushes mature, your harvests get bigger every year. So, here's a quick question for you. Would you plant blueberries mainly for fresh snacking or to stock up your freezer for year-round use? Let me know in the comments. 1. Walking onions. I know what you're thinking. Walking onions? What on earth is she talking about? And that, my dears, is why this is my most cherished secret. These aren't your average onions. These are a rare and absolutely magical kind of perennial onion that just keeps on going and going and going. They are the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it crop, and they are a pure delight. Here's how they work. A walking onion plant grows like a regular green onion, but instead of forming a single flower at the top, it grows little clusters of tiny onion bulbs. As these bulbs get bigger and heavier, the stalk holding them gets a little top-heavy and gently bends over until the bulbs touch the ground. And what happens when they touch the ground? They plant themselves. They take root and start a brand new plant right there. That's why they're called walking onions. They literally walk across your garden, planting new generations of themselves as they go. You don't have to replant them every year. You don't have to fuss over them. You just plant them once, and they take over the job of planting for you. It's truly a sight to behold and a joy to discover. They are incredibly hardy, surviving cold winters and dry spells with ease. To plant them, you simply place a few of the bulbs in the soil, and they will do all the work from there. You can snip the tops like chives for a mild onion flavor in your salads and soups, or you can dig up the bulbs for a more traditional onion taste. The more you harvest, the more the plant will produce. This is the ultimate example of a garden that gives you endless food without a moment of stress. It is a symbol of a life well lived, where you can reap the rewards of a single effort for a lifetime. So, here's my final question for you, my sweet friends. Would you grow walking onions for their unique self-planting ability, or just for the pure joy of having a lifetime of endless harvest? I'm so excited to hear what you think of this amazing plant. Drop your answer in the comments below. My dears, what a wonderful journey we've had together. We started with a dream of a simpler, more joyful garden, and we found 12 incredible ways to make that dream a reality. We talked about so many generous plants today, from the sweet, spreading strawberries to the refreshing mint, the savory sage, and the calming lavender. We discovered the incredible raspberry and the surprising edible daylily. We learned about the unstoppable Jerusalem artichoke, the gentle giant rhubarb, and the patient wonder of asparagus. We admired the stunning globe artichoke and the powerful blueberry. And finally, we met the magical walking onion, the ultimate symbol of a garden that plants itself. Together, these perennials give you a garden that keeps producing food for you, save you so much time and money, and provide a sustainable, reliable food source for years to come. Think of the peace of mind that comes with knowing your garden will be waiting for you every spring, ready to provide no matter what. You plant them once, and your harvest will keep rolling in, leaving you with more time for your family, more time for your hobbies, and more time for the things that truly matter. Gardening doesn't have to be a constant cycle of replanting and hard work. With perennials, you plant once and harvest forever. If you enjoyed this video and are ready to garden smarter, not harder, please, if you haven't already, take a quick moment and subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me and helps our little community grow. And if you're excited to try even just one of these perennials, please give this video a big thumbs up and hit that like button. Then, I want you to share this video with a friend or a family member who you think needs to know about this secret of low-maintenance, high-reward gardening. Finally, please drop a comment below with which of these you are most excited to plant first. I truly love hearing from you and learning what you're doing in your gardens. You are the heart of this wonderful, growing community. Thanks for watching, my darlings, and remember to always find a joy in your garden. I'll see you in the next video.